Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Oji.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. How are you this morning?
Good.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Fantastic. Good. Ayo.
Hey, Oji, good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Very good.
Looking beautiful. I love your whole combination.
Thank
good
you.
morning. Rufi on fire.
Morning,
How are you
Oji.
this morning?
I'm doing well.
Today you were asking me about Ngonga, the guy from Equatorial Guinea. He's been trending because now they've given him about what 8 years in prison. I don't know why Rufi is asking me about that,
My
but yes.
problem is that prison, they should not bring female warders there.
They should not.
They should not. That's just my point of view.
He's been trending off. So that's one of the stories that we had. And to our viewers, now he's been imprisoned. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending in Japan, where authorities have issued a number of clarifications about a cultural exchange program involving 4 African countries. This new initiative, known as the TICAD Africa Hometown Program, is a symbolic sister city-style initiative that designates a Japanese city as a hometown for a partner African country. However, in the last 2 days, Japan has had to firmly deny widespread reports that these cities will be given away to African nations. Well, in Nigeria's case, the Japanese Foreign Ministry on Tuesday issued a statement to deny a special visa program that was announced by the Nigerian government. The Nigerian official had indicated that the city of Kisarazu, designated as Nigeria's hometown, would provide a new visa category for highly skilled Nigerians. Well, let's read a part of the statement from the Japanese Foreign Ministry denying the report. And they wrote in part, "There are no plans to take measures to promote the acceptance of immigrants or issue special visas for residents of African countries. And the series of reports and announcements concerning such measures are not true. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan will continue to make efforts to ensure that appropriate reporting and statements regarding this matter are carried out." Well, Japan has also had to deny a false claim that another place, Ngagi City, would become part of Tanzania. Similarly, Japan's public broadcaster, NHK, said that in another city, Imbari, which is designated for Mozambique, officials there have received about 1,000 emails and over 450 calls about this cultural exchange program. Dr. Abati, you know, we saw this story, I believe, over the weekend. I mean, this is part of the program that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had attended while he was in Japan. And when the Nigerian official had released that statement, there were a lot of concerns. A lot of Nigerians were concerned. And, you know, I actually was shocked because we know that Japan is very strict on immigration policies. But there were reactions that came after that Nigerian official released a statement saying that there's a new visa category for, skilled workers, Nigerian skilled workers, which Nigerians were saying, why would we want to even release our skilled workers? But it appears that there's a lot of misinformation. The Nigerian government have retracted their statement, but you can see it's not just in Nigeria that this sort of misinformation occurred, Dr. Abati.
Okay, well, I mean, this is clearly, it will appear a case of misinformation, diplomatic misinformation. And there are other dimensions to it. Let me start with the misinformation. Now, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was in Japan, the Japanese authorities, speaking through the Japanese International Cooperation Agency, JICA, said that as part of cultural exchange, certain cities have been designated, for a number of countries. Kisarazu for Nigeria, Sanju for Ghana, Nagai for Tanzania, Imabali for Mozambique. And of course, that caused a lot of excitement here in Nigeria, particularly when there was a statement from the State House saying that special visas will be made available for Nigerians to, go and live and work in Kisarazu. Mm-hmm. And in fact, many Nigerians were already preparing to just jump to Japan. But of course, the Japanese embassy had to quickly move in because they are now had pressures in those 4 locations among the Japanese, where there is a wave of anti-immigrant sentiment, in Japan, xenophobia, racism. And the Japanese were saying, look, we have enough problems here. Don't go and bring some black people from Africa to come and add to our problems. And then it's political season in Japan. There is a far-right political party, the Sanseiito. That's what the political party is called. The Sanseiito is complaining about anti-immigration. In fact, they are selling this Trumpian message, they are Japanese first. And so it's that political party now that has led this wave of protests and complaints within Japanese community that we're saying Japanese first here. You want to go and bring people from Ajegunle and where is that your neighbor? Okay.
Tell us. Is it going?
From Surulere. You want to come and carry them to bring them to Kisarazu.
Come on.
Which is a very modern city. So of course
they hosted the Olympics, is it?
Yes. Olympics was hosted there.
Okay.
You know, so the Japanese of course protested. And the Japanese government has now appealed to those countries to say, please tell your people, we are not giving special visas.
No.
If there is any cultural exchange program, when you finish your cultural exchange program, you go back. Because of course Ishiba will not want to lose the election because it has become an election matter in Japan. But it's also, this is not the first time that the Nigerian government will misinform people. We had another embarrassment the other time. When we were told,
we're not the only ones.
when we were told that Emirates had agreed to come back and all of that, and then we had another statement. The country of origin was saying that was not true.
Right.
I think it's just to be a bit careful with communication.
Yes.
And then the Japanese too also need to be careful. After all, they prolonged the World War II by miscommunicating, by misrepresenting language. So it's not as if we are the only ones at fault.
Well said. This is Japanese people are saying that.
Don't think of Kisarazu, please.
It's just a cultural exchange program. All right. No worries.
Don't go and stay here. Because as the announcer, some people are already saying prayer point as.
Some people are already consulting the pastors.
Some people are already saying, this, you can see.
You see
I hear somebody that say, and it's Tinubu that did this one. God will bless you.
But you see, this is the big deal also about this job passive job. Everybody trying to
everybody is saying
this
no.
is the only good thing that came out of this. No free entry to Japan. This is not Japan here. Japan.
Oh my God.
I told you, stay in your country.
Stay Nigeria. Let's fix our nation.
We have to fix our nation. Well said, guys. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has returned to Abuja following a 2-day state visit to Brazil and his participation in the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development in Japan. On his last day in Brazil, the president met with the Nigerian community and urged them to work together to elevate the country to the forefront of Africa's progress. He highlighted his administration's focus on key areas such as technology and food security as pillars for national development. Drawing a parallel between Nigeria and Brazil's past economic challenges, Tinubu stated that Nigeria must take deliberate action to achieve similar developmental success and promised that the nation will work for all.
I'm proudly standing before you, making a commitment to all of you that Nigeria will be changed for the good of all of us and for the benefit and prosperity of all our citizens. We give priority to development. Once upon a time, we can look back on history with heart that Brazil and Nigeria were on the same level of development. Look at us today and look at Brazil. It is necessary for you to be challenged, and we are. Personally, I am challenged.
All right, that speech Tinubu also encouraged Nigerians in the diaspora to be active participants in building a new Nigeria, fostering unity and a shared passion for the nation's development. And I'll take a tweet from an ex-user who wrote quite an interesting and well-delivered speech. If he was in Nigeria addressing Nigerians, his speech would have been punctuated with applauses, as we have a clapping syndrome. This partnership will be of immense benefit to Nigeria, and let's hope the usual suspects don't ruin it. Well, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, at the meeting, highlighted the success of the Brazilian trip as a clear sign of the positive changes and economic reforms that are underway in Nigeria. He emphasized that the visit serves as proof of Nigeria's growing appeal as a destination for international investment and collaboration.
Mr. President, what we have done in just 2 years is unprecedented. Sometimes when we go out to build up all these programs and policies of government, and this is happening just at the midterm of the first mandate that you have. All the reforms that Mr. President has done, but what I want to tell you is that Nigeria has changed. It is what Nigeria of yesterday. This is it. You have a destination. Everyone. Nigeria is now a darling of everyone. Everyone wants to come to Nigeria. And I'm happy that our brothers and sisters in Brazil are not being left behind.
All right. I mean, Ayo, we've seen that, in fact, the MOUs that were signed in Brazil were held, and we see the minister here touting the reforms, by the president. The minister also, highlighted some of the president's key reforms, including the removal of, the subsidy, the unification of foreign exchange, tax regime reform, and reviving the livestock industry, among others, including, of course, the student loan and all of that. He says Nigeria has changed. Before I come to you, and I take this. In the meantime, here is a viral video featuring lawyers during the Nigerian Bar Association conference held recently in Enugu, responding to questions raised about the performance of the Tinubu administration.
First question is Nigeria better today than 2 years ago? Okay, let's go to the second question. Do you think the nation is on the right track with the policies of the Tinubu government? Okay. All right. My third question. Is your hope renewed? No, I've not finished the question. Hold on. I have not finished the questions. Hold on is a longer sentence. Is your hope renewed now, or do you think this government is in touch with the present realities of the average nation? For those who agree say yes, those who disagree say no.
All right, there you have it. That was a resounding no there by lawyers at the NBA conference. Shehu Akimbaloye there was moderating a panel titled, "Is the Economy Stupid?" with the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, along with panelists Gabriel Okewo, Dr. Obieze-Kwesili, and George Etomi. This year's NBA conference titled Stand Tall saw the presence of about 20,000 lawyers from across the country. Rufai, I know you want to jump in, but I was asking Ayo first, or do you want to start?
Okay, let me quickly. Yes. I'll be quick.
Yes.
When you were speaking, I said the last video answered the first question.
Yes.
Especially when the minister was talking about how Nigeria has changed, the reforms are working. Earlier, I said that I didn't expect anything different. I don't expect the Minister of Information or anybody in this cabinet to go abroad and be saying, "Oh, things are terrible. Food inflation is very high. Yes. Crime rate has not really gone down. People are not still going to their farms," because they're trying to attract investment. And in fairness to them, that's very good. It's good that they're going out there and speaking to the Nigerian community. But the truth is that the Nigerian community in Brazil, in Japan, anywhere in the world, they read the news. They speak to their family members back at home. They send money back home. They know that the last time, maybe when they were sending 1,000 naira for a tuber of yam, now they are sending 5,000 naira for a tuber of yam. They know how much rent was the last time they were sending money to their family members, maybe their parents or so. So they are not unaware. But I remember one of the speakers had said something. He said, we cannot do anything about it. Let's just move forward. We cannot just keep complaining. So what we do as a people is that we understand that this is what we have on our hands. How do we work around it to still make the best best life for ourselves or the best sense of things. And that, I think that's where a lot of Nigerians are. But it doesn't take away the responsibility of the government to work hard to ensure that they do what they're supposed to do right by Nigerians.
Yeah.
It's okay for them to go out and, talk to investors like that. A salesman is a salesman. He will embellish the truth, be a bit hyperbolic in his statement. But when we come home, let us face facts and begin to see how we can make things better for the people. And oftentimes, when we talk about the reforms of the president, whether or not he's been praised in many quarters, it's in the right direction. How are the people feeling it?
This is the question.
What are the safety net approaches? And we've been talking about this since the announcement of the removal of fuel subsidy. We cannot keep complaining and talking about the price of goods going high. ASU is threatening to go on strike because lecturers are not being paid well, and and keep saying that we're doing better. The president has to find a solution, whilst he's saying that we need patience to ensure that people who are the most vulnerable have some form of safety net. So a few things I would say with regards to attracting business: make business easier for people abroad who want to do business here, end corruption, end the bureaucracy, provide an enabling environment for people to want to bring back their home, their money, their hard-earned funds abroad, back home to invest. A lot of Nigerians abroad are patriotic, Oji. A lot of them keep up with the news in Nigeria because they are hopeful that one day Nigeria will be better, and they are willing to work to make sure that that dream comes to pass. But I hope that the government will also partner with Nigerians, home and abroad. When we speak about these things, it's not because we want to criticize.
Yes.
It's because we are passionate about the nation. We want things to change. And if you don't admit to the problems, you will never find a solution to it. If we keep burying our head in the sand, we will not come out of what we find ourselves in today.
Rufai, your thoughts on the MBA conference and the Nigerian lawyers there, 20,000 of them, having a resounding no about the...
At first,
reforms,
please,
or
I will instruct
whether Nigeria
you
has
have to
changed.
submit me the names of all those lawyers.
What are you going to use them for?
Trouble. Please, all of them that in the hall
Why?
that attended that session. How can they say such a thing?
Freedom of expression.
Freedom of what?
Of course.
No, say that. The only one freedom we have is the freedom of President Tinubu doing well in the country. Everything is good. You can see how Nigeria is moving. It's doing very well. President Tinubu, that's the only freedom we have. So please, for all those lawyers, I've been sarcastic, but the truth is, it speaks to itself. I saw that conference. I saw how the government officials tried to defend things that didn't exist. Take, for instance, one of the ministers I was on the panel said there was, this is the line the government keeps putting out, that there was no provision for subsidy in the law when they removed subsidy. But you see, they don't tell the full part of the story that this government also claimed they paid subsidies till 2024. It was when the prices jacked up. So when they said subsidy gone, they were still paying subsidies. Those are empirical facts. The NNPC was still paying subsidies within. It was when they said they removed it totally that happened. So they tell a lot of half-truths. There's a danger of a single story. It's just one side they tell. But you cannot deceive the people for too long. See, Oji, if the parameters are good in favor of the people, forget what the IMF is saying, okay, reserves and everything. The IMF is never there for your lives to get a lot better. It's never there for your lives to get a lot better. Forget it. With all the advice the IMF has been giving, where did it lead us till today? So if the parameters are good, you will see it, Oji. Can we compare it to the years when Nigeria was growing 7-8%? We saw, one of us just like, the president didn't need to go and tell people in Brazil to come back home. They came back, people came back home normally. But you know the interesting part, people that came back home in those boom days, they are going back. They've all gone back.
All right.
So you don't need to tell people. It's not a case of overselling.
Right.
What you should focus on is leave the sentiment and the buzzword, the head lies. You were saying headlines don't lie. No. There's something we call head lies. I can do propaganda and craft an headline now. It doesn't. I can craft headlines.
Depends on what you're reading.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what you will say is it depends on what you are reading. Headlines can be headlines.
True.
So I can craft headlines for you just to feel that things are working, but they're not working. And it goes back to the fact that they need to get a lot done.
All right.
The MBA conference is one. I've also had the chance to be able to moderate one of the sessions of the MBA conference where we speak truth to power for each other. And I think these are the feedbacks the government should be able to take.
All right.
As it is, we're talking to the diaspora community in Brazil. yes, these are the reforms, but the question is, so that's their own single story. Oh, we've put in reforms, remove this, remove that, remove this, remove that. Ayo was saying, reduce corruption. No, corruption is gone already, so forget why that is gone. So the second part of the story is this. You have done the reforms, but that reforms too have increased price ×3 for the lives of Nigerians.
Yeah, but remember what the president said.
It's plunged more people into poverty. It's plunged more people into pain. And the problem also is that you have not shown us a strategic plan to be able to come out of it.
All right. The president has said that these reforms are like, they're going to be like the childbirth. So there's going to be a lot of suffering, pain before we reap the
show us
fruits
strategic.
of the reforms.
I'll give you an instance,
but in the meantime,
please,
the president is back.
I know.
To the
I want to give you an instance.
We have those videos. We can play that quickly.
I want to give you an instance, please. After the president pulled out subsidy, announced subsidy gone, mid-2023.
Yes.
He gave a speech where he said we are going to cultivate 10 million hectares and all that. All the promises he gave in the speech, where are we on the agricultural cultivation now as we speak?
All right.
Where are we on the supply chain logistics?
Those are some of the questions that the administration need to respond. Only a minute because we have to go to the next story.
Not even up to a minute. Without prejudice to all these conversations we've been having about economic reforms and the impact on the people. Now, there's something in journalism called leading questions. When you phrase questions to have a predetermined intended answer.
Yes.
So, and a typical example will be those questions that you showed. When you ask people, do you think hope has been renewed? There are only two options.
Yes.
When you ask them, is Nigerian economy better than it? If you were to disaggregate it, then of course there will be room for further reflection and for analysis. So these are trick questions that just lead to one particular answer.
All right.
So we need to be careful about that.
Okay.
So in other words, that may not be a proper reflection of the diverse, disaggregated views of the Nigerian Bar Association.
Right, well said. Or even some of the Nigerian people.
Or even the Nigerian people.
Some of the Nigerian people. Well, all right. Well said, you all. We'll take another story now. The Federal Fire Service has issued a unique public service announcement warning potential recruits about the importance of physical fitness for the job. The fire service took to social media to tell applicants waiting for the recruitment shortlist that firefighting is a physically demanding job that requires individuals who are healthy and in excellent shape. I'd love to read the tweet. It was well detailed. And they wrote, "Dear prospective fire officers in waiting, while you wait for the shortlist, please take note. 1, eat. I say eat. Hunger is not part of the training syllabus. 2, take care of your health. We need fit firefighters, not fainting champions. 3, sleep well. Counting fire trucks is better than counting sheep. 4, and this is the big one, exercise a little. Your pot belly won't fit inside bunker gear. 4, stay calm. The shortlist is coming. Don't burn yourself out before the fire does. Remember, the fire doesn't wait for the unfit, so prepare well." I thought this was such a well-written raise. You're absolutely right. And I'll just take one comment from an ex-user who wrote, "This is the first time I'll be following a paramilitary service in this country. Federal government should please increase this handler space." So professional and at the same time very friendly. I thought this was quite nice to see. And, obviously, the tweet went viral. But it also reminds me of that video that we took in Ghana where, the police service chief was saying, "Eat well, prepare." Dr. Vasi, you know the story I'm talking about. Who said, I knew you weren't hearing. Who was motivating his officers to eat well? That video went viral. But I thought this was a good tweet. Good. And it's good to motivate these fire service officials. But in the same vein, meanwhile, a viral video on social media captured the moment a man stripped himself down to his underwear before attacking a vehicle inspection official around the Mile 2 area of Lagos State. The altercation occurred on Tuesday, August 26th. In the video, the VIO officials appeared to have used their patrol van to block a vehicle in the middle of the busy road, prompting onlookers to gather at the scene. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Dr. Abati, this is so strange. It remains unclear what actions by the officials led to the assault. Well, as of now, no comment has been issued from the Vehicle Inspection Office regarding this incident. Happened on Tuesday, Dr. Abati. This man stripped himself. Frustration, is that what it is?
Well, two quick comments.
Yes.
You are two stories.
Yes.
First about the fire service,
Yes.
which is over 100 years old in Nigeria. And, you know, it may sound hilarious, but what I think the fire service office is saying is that this is a physically demanding job.
Yes.
It's not police work where you can afford to have pot bellies.
I don't think you can afford to have
You shouldn't have
police
police
work
work.
either.
No, but you shouldn't even have hot bellies.
Would you
Well,
respect?
well, well.
I'm speaking up for the police here. Don't say that to our police.
But how would they run after or chase after a criminal?
How can you say our police officers have
okay,
pot
no.
bellies?
But do they have
Please,
pot belly or not?
let's save
Please
time.
don't say that.
Let's save
Let's
time.
save time.
I'm fighting for you, Nigeria police.
Nigeria is tongue and cheek, I guess. Nigeria is a place where you have law enforcement officers having pot bellies, you know.
Don't say that. Don't
like the ones who were being advised in Ghana
Yes.
to be careful
Yes.
how much activity they conduct in the bedroom.
Reduce your sexual rounds. That was what it was.
So this is the same thing with the fire service. That look, aspiring firemen
Yes.
should know that this is physically demanding. You have to eat, you have to sleep well, you have to be strong, and you have to pay attention to your health. Because if you are going to, save people who are involved in fire activities, you cannot be, unhealthy. But part of the recruitment process is to make sure that they recruit persons that are fit and good. However, it's not just about recruitment that we worry about fire service. It's about the provision of fire service in our various communities.
Yes.
Where there is any fire accident in this country today, the fire service that I say is over 100 years old is not prepared. It's either they don't have water or they don't have basic equipment or they are not available, when they are required to be available. So very quickly about that. Then about VIO. Now, the basic issue between motorists and the vehicle inspection officers is about trust. I know that in some states, they've been taken to court and, there was even a court judgment saying VIOs do not have the right to ask for certain things or to, exceed their statutory powers. Now, it's not part of the job of a VIO to jump into another a person's car and say you want to drive away the car, and then creating confusion. And of course, the man who stripped himself naked, this is part of the national psychosis that we are talking about. This country is in the grips of psychosis. A lot of people have lost it because of the pressure cooker environment in which we live. Now, if the VIO, accosts you, and they will ask you for certain things, they will ask you for papers. Now you present it. If you don't have it, maybe penalty. And then to strip yourself naked, that is constituting yourself into a public nuisance. And that in itself, should be sanctioned under the laws. But VIOs themselves should begin to behave properly. They should not see themselves, whether they are paramilitary, para-uniform, whatever they are, as enemies of the people. Because when you encounter them, and many of these uniform officials, the attitude is adversarial. And so we need to build trust. We need to be a community of relations, between these officers and, the motorists that apply our rules.
Well,
after all, the long-term objective is for people to respect the law and for safety and to make sure that service is provided. Not for people who wear uniform to constitute themselves into a nuisance, nor is it for persons suffering from a segment of national psychosis to constitute themselves into a nuisance by stripping naked at the slightest provocation.
All right, we'll follow up on the story if we get any statement from the Vehicle Inspection Service. Well, before we take our story under Milestone, let's highlight a woman of integrity, Faizia Abdullahi, the cleaner from Borno State, who became a symbol of honesty after she found and returned a staggering 4.8 million naira that she discovered in her account. Well, in a show of recognition for her commendable character, the First Lady of Borno State, Dr. Falmata Babagana Zulum, has publicly rewarded her for her actions. Fazia was presented with a 1 million naira reward on Wednesday, alongside other valuable gifts and commendation. The First Lady praised Fazia's integrity, stating that such acts of selflessness should be celebrated and emulated. I thought this was so beautiful to see. And like I told you, Rufai, she will be recognized. 1 million naira and other gifts, and hopefully she would get more recognition after this.
What me I contested was national honor.
Yes, that's what I meant. What recognition?
This is good. I'm happy about it. We must reward.
Let's keep pushing.
But Dr. But it's amazing. Give national, and I say, see, it's people that have plenty money that get national honor in this.
Barbariga wearing people. That's
it's
what
not people like you and I that get national honor. Other small people on the road. It's people that have plenty.
No, but I think it's also good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that the First Lady of
recognize
her. Yes, very good.
Beautiful.
Let's tell our stories in our schools. Let us, young people know that integrity pays.
Well, all right. Let's now turn to our milestone segment. And it's a celebration. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has extended his congratulations to Senator Atiku, the senator representing Cross River South Senatorial District, on the occasion of his 40th birthday. Senator Ekpeyong is one of the youngest lawmakers in the 10th National Assembly, a role he took on after serving as Commissioner for Finance in his home state. Throughout his career, from his time as a commissioner to his current role in the Senate, he has consistently demonstrated a deep commitment to the development and progress of his people. At just 40 years old, he stands as a testament to the power of youth leadership, proving that a blend of fresh perspectives and experience can drive meaningful change. In his birthday message, President Tinubu commended Senator Ekpeyong for his dedication and contributions in the Senate. The president specifically praised his sponsorship of motions and bills that address key development and policy matters, and he wished him a very happy 40th birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
All right, we at Arise News wish Senator Ekpeyong a very happy 40th birthday. He's the youngest senator. Really, about the youngest.
I think so. And even when he was commissioner as well, he was one of the youngest at the time. To see him grow in this way and just,
really commendable.
It's really commendable. So
happy birthday.
The celebration is that he's the youngest.
Yeah, and he's turned 40. That's it.
And he benefited from the not too young to run as well.
And did we give him an award as well?
Yes, we
did.
We
one of the aspiring young people in Nigeria. Again, happy birthday, Senator Ekpeyong. More milestones. Let's highlight the Asian city of Daura in Katsina State, which recently hosted the 2025 International Hausa Day celebrations, a monumental event designed to promote the Hausa language and cultural heritage across the globe. Well, the 2025 International Hausa Day, held on August 26, was marked by a series of global celebrations with a central event at the Emir of Daura's Palace in Katsina State. The annual event, which is celebrated by millions of people in over 25 countries, served as a powerful call to preserve the Hausa language and its rich cultural heritage in an increasingly globalized world. Supported by the Katsina State government, the event featured a grand Durbar procession showcasing traditional horsemanship and regalia, alongside cultural exhibitions and symposiums by leading scholars. It was a day to honor the legacy of Hausa-speaking communities and reaffirm the language's status as the 11th most spoken globally, with projections to become the 5th most spoken language by 2050. This is so beautiful,
Yes,
really. The event is
yes.
seen as a key step in positioning the richness of Hausa culture alongside the world's most celebrated traditions and a significant milestone in showcasing the economic and creative potential of Hausa heritage. Well, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, in his message on Hausa Day, encouraged leaders and citizens to safeguard Hausa linguistic treasures, honor the resilience of their ancestors, and inspire future generations to embrace unity in diversity as a bedrock of progress. This is so beautiful. We know that the Hausa Day was first celebrated in 2015 on social media. Now it has grown into a full celebration across the world every August 26th, although the United Nations is yet to recognize it, the day. This is so beautiful. I wanted to really highlight this story. Great milestone. A quick comment, just 30 seconds before we go.
Really great milestone. And like you mentioned, I think the next step is to push for it to be recognized by the United Nations as one of its national days. I love what's happening with our culture and the way that we're celebrating the different beauty and uniqueness and encouraging people to embrace it. From the OjyOkpe to the to Hausa Day. In Warri last week, they had the first coronation, and a lot of people were able to come into these communities to really enjoy the beauty of the diversity of our culture.
10 seconds.
Okay, the thing to talk about is, well, good to celebrate Hausa Day.
Yes.
But very briefly, since we have no time, is to talk about Hausa nationalism.
Yes.
And how we have this dubious intellection, on the part of some scholars who say that Hausa is a linguistic category and not an ethnic category.
Right.
And then you have this mongrel called Hausa Fulani, which really is an attempt to marginalize the autochthonous Hausa.
All right.
But there's no time for me to go into the sociology of all of
Well,
that.
congratulations.
But that is the main story.
Yes, congratulations to all the Hausa language speaking people. Well, I'd like to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending.